Hey guys, Alex with Bay Cities Construction. Today we're talking about waterproofing your balconies. I'm going to go over 5 different spots where balconies leak, and I'm also going to go over a couple of different waterproofing methods to make sure that your balcony stays dry as a bone. All right guys, so let's get into it. Over the last few weeks, I've been seeing a lot of different balconies in a lot of different buildings in a lot of different towns, and there's a very common theme, regardless of where the balconies are located on the building and what city they're in. They all leak in one of the following places. So let me bring your attention to this little crack here on the surface of the balcony. Now that's a hairline crack. That's going to definitely allow water to go in. And if you were to have a low spot there, it would act like a spoon, and the water would be pouring in or seeping in slowly, depending on how large the crack is. The other sections where water leaks are along where the wall and the balcony and the deck meet, right? So you could see in this picture that there's a nice good crack. There's hypothetically speaking, there should have been some flashing under there, and if the flashing has been compromised, the water will leak through there. Another way that water gets in is under the doors. So if you've had your door replaced on your balcony in the last few years and you didn't notice that a new shower pan was built in, you probably have a little bit of a leak there if you're getting some damage underneath. And we're going to show you what the damage looks like if the water actually goes in the unit. Now, the far end of this picture here is a scupper. This is called the scupper. It's a drain, and you'll have some leaks through there too. The scupper is made out of flashing material, and sometimes that rusts out and it starts to leak. So this the darker parts of this balcony, basically it doesn't have a good slope, and water accumulates there in the mornings. And if you develop a crack in that lower slope, you're going to get some leaks. All right, I'm going to give you a little zoom in on this one. So this actually has a significant crack here, and there's chunks of stucco missing right there. So that's all indicative of water intrusion, guys. You definitely don't want to be seeing stuff like that in your balcony. Now, this section here is kind of a different shot of the same area, and we've got some surface cracks that have been patched up over time. And here on this parapet wall, you'll see there's a little bit of a raised area there. Normally, you'll have a weep screed there where the water from the stucco actually will leak out and hit the surface of the deck, and then eventually drain its way off the deck. Here's a little close-up of a surface crack, a little wide shot. Now here you actually have chunks of stucco missing, so that's a big area where water gets in. Definitely don't want to have too many of those around the place. This shot here is of the other scupper, and you can actually see that there's cracking or discoloration around the scupper flashing, and that just means that the scuppers has probably rusted there, and you're getting a little bit of discoloration through the membrane. I've got a different kind of a balcony here. This is a truly a cantilevered balcony, and this has got a handrail, a wooden handrail that the posts intrude into the waterproofing and then connect with a framing under here. And it's important to realize what type of a handrail connection you have, because if this handrail becomes loose under this condition, you're going to have to get this handrail engineered in order to replace it. You can't just replace it arbitrarily. So let's look at some of the signs here that we've got some water intrusion, guys. Right here, this is the edge flashing. It's called the drip edge because the water drips off either the roof or, in this case, the balcony, and it literally falls off. So if you see rust, you see like the pitting here, it's all pitted. You got a little bit more rust over here, that's pitted. Anytime you see rust coming through the waterproofing, you have an issue where the flashing has failed. Okay, you got to handle that. So you can see this is a second-story balcony situation here. Actually, it's this third-story balcony. A twin balcony, same building. There's 5 balconies on this building, and this is more severe. There is no way, guys, to save this, okay? When you have rusting and separation or delamination like that, you have water intrusion. If I can bring your attention over to where this post meets the waterproofing, you could see that you've got some openings also. That is all areas for water to get in behind the deck. And over time, it'll rot the deck, completely rot the deck. This is a different angle of one of the posts from the inside of the deck. And this isn't terribly bad, but you can still see that there's some separation. Water's definitely seeping in very slowly in there. Nonetheless, it's getting in there. The wide shot, this is another wide shot of the balcony. And you can see you got some discoloration. For those of you that are plant lovers and enjoy watering your plants and stuff like that on your balcony, it's more important that you have a very good waterproof surface to make sure that you are not only watering the plants, but the termites that are going to be entering into your building. So you can see here, you got a little bit of surface discoloration, and this is just basically the finish. This is what it looks like in the beginning phases of the waterproof membrane being damaged. Okay. When I inspected this, I actually pushed on all of these handrails, and they're still pretty good. There was no flexing or moving around on them, and that's really what I'm looking for to make sure that they're safe. So let's take a little bit of let's talk about a couple different things here. What we're looking at, if you have a surface where basically the top layer is starting to discolor, but it's not terribly cracked, meaning you don't have full delamination, you can actually you have two options for what you're going to use to waterproof it. And I'm going to refer to my two little samples here that I have for you. I want to show you this. So what we got here is a Life Specialties coating. There's two systems. They're both made by the same manufacturer. Life Deck Coatings. This is the AL. This is the AL system, and this is the MC system. This can go over an existing deck like the one that I just showed you. So on decks that are not falling apart, that are not soft, that the subfloor is not damaged, you can actually resurface it with this bad boy here. Now, this is a very special waterproofing system. This is just put on some masonite, which is like a hard cardboard backing for the purposes of this presentation, because this system is flexible, and if it's flexible, it'll stay waterproof. Check this out. That's insane. Any other concrete, this is 6,500 PSI. Any other concrete would have just flaked off and flown up in the air and hit one of my roof tiles. So let me kind of walk you through what you have here. This would represent your existing surface, right? So the existing deck surface, we do a little bit of prep, scrape off anything that's loose on there. We laminate this bad boy. This layer of mesh goes in with a special resin, right? That gets glued on with a special resin. Then the first coat of, this is a very special high PSI cement, and it goes on in two layers. So you got layer 1, layer 2 of the cement. This is already waterproofed at the first layer with the resin. Then you put cement on top, and then you put your second coat, and then you put your wear layer, which is also your color coat. So this determines obviously this is more of an aesthetic look, but it also protects this from wear. So two different things. You can actually get a top coat that reflects light, which means you can walk on the deck on a hot summer day barefoot without burning your feet, because it reflects the sun so much that it doesn't get hotter than like 100 and 110, 120, 115 degrees. Anything over that temperature, then you can't walk on it barefoot. It just feels uncomfortable on your feet. So for scenarios where the deck surface is still good, this is a very good option to keep the cost down. So if you can save if the balcony flashing against the wall is in good shape and the deck surface is good, you can use this, the MC system. If, However, you have flex or you have damage or any other type of significant issue, you'll have to put a system that has a diamond lath in it for strength. Now, we could install this over this system here. We definitely can install the AL system. This is an acrylic latex, acrylic lath system on there. And basically you staple on the metal lath, you put on your 3 coats of cement on top of it, and your top coat. This has a decorative finish. This is your knockdown finish. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of that for the South Bay, because in the morning we get that dew, and I don't want you guys getting a little bunch. You got trees, your neighbor's trees are kind of growing over, so you'll get like a dark, all that, the gunk will get stuck in there. I don't want that. I would prefer basically the trowel look, which looks very nice and clean and is not a dirt trap. See that? That looks actually pretty nice. And it's got great traction on your feet. It doesn't feel rough, but it doesn't feel slick, and you don't have to worry about sliding outside if you just watered and the deck surface is a little bit moist. I think it's a really cool option. So on some of the next videos, we're going to be coming up with some very detailed information on what it costs to surface a deck with each one of these systems. And the goal is really to create enough content for you guys to be able to make a decision on not only what system you want to use, but how you want to go about the repair of your deck. Because some decks require more work than others. If you got structural issues, you're going to have to deal with that. But if you don't, you may be able to deal with it in a different way. Guys, thanks for watching the video. If you want more information on other topics related to balcony or really home improvement, please make sure to go to baycitiesconstruction.com. And if you haven't done so already, visit us on YouTube and Facebook. My name is Alex, Bay Cities Construction, reminding you, you don't need a contractor. You need a team of pros.